In the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. Now we are joined by Sleeping Warrior, 10th Man, the Adam Meakin, Chocolate Saiyan, and a whole bunch of people in Discord. So welcome one and all.
Greetings.
Afternoon, everyone.
Morning.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Thanks.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good, hello. Nice, enthusiastic, sprightly lot that you are. Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere edge, formerly known as Earth curve?
Not
really
from
does
my
feel like-
zenith.
Yeah.
Not
It
from
really
your
does feel
zenith.
like we're in school when you say it like that, Nathan.
Did you hear what 10th Man said, Sleeping Warrior?
I did not. Go on.
Do you want
Tom.
to repeat that, Sleeping Warrior? Not Sleeping Warrior, 10th Man.
Yeah, not from my zenith.
Not from my zenith. Big shout out to Bev Try Thinking and Brian's Logic, who've recently done a couple of presentations that have exposed the presuppositional workings of geodetic surveying and their tangent, the presupposition they lay down before they do any work, plane, that would be flat surface that they actually do their measurements on using Euclidean geometry. So thanks to Bev Try Thinking and Brian's Logic. Check out those two presentations on this channel, Nathan Oakley 1980. Now I believe before we get into the next housekeeping question, there's going to be a plug for Ranty Flat Earth, which you can do now if you want. Sleeping Warrior,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Ranty Flat Earth's going live tonight at 10 p.m. British summertime over on his channel, and it's entitled Sam Hines Show, I think it is. I'm trying to join the show so that I can ask a couple of questions, and I just want to raise awareness because I'd like to join this show, but I'm being told I've got to provide my questions before he goes live, and obviously that provides time to come up with a story. That's not going to be happening. So do check out Ranty Flat Earth's live show at 10 o'clock tonight. I'm hopefully going to try and get on. And if you're listening, Ranty, send us a link or whatever it is that you do. I'd like to join. Thank you.
That's Ranty
It's a
Flat
track,
Earth, and that's
Track.
tonight, UK time, 10 p.m. Also, I'm going to shout out my own show, which I don't typically do, but when there's a really, really epic after show, which yesterday's after show was, I'm going to shout out my own show. Why the hell wouldn't I? So be here or be sphere on my second channel, which is Nathan Oakley, at 9 p.m. UK time tonight for, it's 11:84, yesterday's full show. And there was a guy on there called Spider Daddy, I believe his name was, and he was a normal, reasonably tolerable guy with a globe belief, declared right at the beginning of his time on the show. And over the course of about 2.5 hours, the discussion about things like the Black Swan, things like the Cavendish experiment, gas pressure without a container, were all discussed at length to the point of concession, which doesn't typically happen. So, check it out. It's 9 p.m.
probably a
UK
plan.
time, Nathan Oakley channel. If you're not already subscribed to my second channel, check it out. That's where the uncut and after show go out considerably later than the members get it on this channel. If you are a member, obviously you already know you get the uncut and after show almost immediately after it's recorded. So there we go. That's enough plugs. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
No, we don't even know what the sun is.
Yeah.
Yep, it's just
pretty
a
sure
line
it's
in the
like-
sky as far as we know.
One more time, Trollins.
I just said it's just a light in the sky as far as we know. So yeah, we don't know what it is. Definitely can't ascertain a distance to it either.
Fair enough. Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
Hmm.
No.
Nope.
Just pictures in the coloring book.
No.
Yeah, there are a lot of illustrations. I must say. That doesn't really count as evidence, but yeah. That's what we have.
Any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
If there was, we would know it.
we would be able to measure it.
Definitely no. We don't have any Earth-based Coriolis effect either observable. So yeah, we're definitely not spinning on any sort of axis.
I don't know if the Earth was a ball and spinning, then yeah, any kind of water body would somehow be influenced by that force that comes with that spin in some way, and there would not be water level, in my opinion. It couldn't exist on a spinning ball.
It was discussed again on yesterday's show during the housekeeping. I can't remember who it was that asked, but it got a fairly elaborate answer in terms of ring laser gyros and how they operate. And Professor Phil Bell left a comment. Didn't actually qualify his response in this regard, but he basically said my description of what occurs with Earth turning underneath a ring laser gyro was woeful, or words to that effect. Do you know what my response was?
What?
Water vapour is gas. Shit for brains.
I bet he was fuming.
Oh yeah, he was steaming.
Can I just ask why there's even a question mark over water vapour being gas? Where's that come from?
Prof. Phil Bell, Sean Hawkins, and a whole bunch of other idiots sat around for 3 days solid laughing at us because we said water vapour was gas. And they said it was preposterous. We pointed out how wrong they were with a few citations, and they doubled down on it 2 straight days afterwards. So for 3 solid days, they were laughing at how stupid we were for stating that water vapour is a gas, which it absolutely is.
Right.
What do they think it is?
You gotta keep up with the
They
flat
think
Earth
it's
debate.
micro droplets of water basically floating in between the rest of the gas.
Oh, right. Okay, so here's the problem with water vapour being a gas. When light refracts through water vapour, it's less dense than the air around it, and that causes the light ray to deviate from straight and bend slightly up relative to straight. That really doesn't help you guys when we're making observations over water, because if the light rays are bending up, then that's going to make it's going to make your model not work at all, is it? It's not going to be bending the light around the curve of the Earth. It's going to be bending the light the other way.
What, like it does with the horizon at the moment?
Don't know. I'm not up to speed with the current topics.
The horizon's being bent the opposite
when they-
direction, isn't it? Normally things are being bent down or bent and then brought back around the curve of the Earth.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Any single viable
Hang on,
hypothesis?
Hang on.
Go on.
Yeah, when they said for 2 days in a row, they were actually describing. I mean, we were laughing so hard, so they were just proving that it was laughing gas. That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
Have they lost the ability?
But
to
the
even
greatest part,
Night
when that was brought up was that on that very show, I asked 3 of the ballers on this pen or on Discord or wherever, when water evaporates, what does it turn into? And all 3 said gas. So yeah, apparently Sean Hawkins and the whole Z group over there, they just, I don't know, their cognitive dissonance is just hurting them.
Be trolling. They can't have been serious, surely.
No, they were.
Well, they were
serious.
laughing. Sean
what
Hawkins himself said, "What did he say? He said something like, oh, it's in a gaseous state, but it's not gas." Like,
So if it's in a gaseous state, what is it if it's not a gas? If it's in a gaseous state, what was he saying it was?
I don't know.
Gaseous.
Ask him. It's gaseous, I guess.
I just don't understand how we can argue that.
Bro, everything we say, they just have to try to make it look stupid because they don't have a ball, they don't have a radius, and we just have to be made to look stupid. That's it.
Come on, Meek,
Or
you're
Nick.
going to say something.
Well, I was going to say, can they not? All I did was type water vapor into Google. Right? It comes up water vapor. Water vapor or aqueous vapor is the gaseous phase of water. It is one state of water within the hydrosphere. Water vapor can be produced from the evaporation or boiling of liquid water or from the sublimation of ice. I mean,
Do a couple of quick super chat shout outs. So shout out to Ranty, who thanks me for the plug, and also shout out to Unitox Femu, who just gives me money. Thank you very much indeed, both of you. And also Elijah Freeman, who says, I'm trying to join the show, but there's no space in Discord. Okay, so yeah, you're right, it is full. Maybe we'll have to move some people out, Elijah. My bad. Thank you for the super chat, though.
Shout out to my
whoever's
boy
not
Eli.
speaking,
So,
bounce.
so Adam, when you look it up just that easily and see it, they could do the same thing, right? And they see the same thing you see. So what's causing this brain damage of theirs?
That was the point I was making. You know, it doesn't take long, a second to do that. So are they? You remember a few years ago, Oren was like super contrarian. He'd argue anything just for a laugh, wouldn't he? And it's almost
Sorry,
like that,
hold
but
on.
not for a
Correction.
laugh.
First
It's
correction.
just-
Hold on. Why did you phrase that in past tense?
well, because I was being kind. But you get me? It's almost like they'll argue anything, even that water vapor isn't a gas, just to not actually deal with the real issues.
Hold on, Paul, can you pop yourself on mute?
There you go.
Just
Third time's a charm, Adam. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, it appears that they will take anything to argue that, even to the point of ridiculum like this, and they'd happily argue that rather than actually discuss the issues that are on the table now. It's anything to get away from the reality of where the observations and evidence point now, to the point that we'll stand up and say that water vapor isn't a gas, and happily have ourselves ridiculed for it, so that we don't have to discuss the black swan.
Which was my point in asking specifically Globers on their side, when water evaporates, what does it turn into? They all said gas. So that's something that's just known, but unfortunately these guys are so lost in their freaking heliocentric nonsense that they have to make fun of us for everything, even things that are common sense. It's ridiculous, man. Poor guys sharing their pain. Sad when you lose your geometric horizon, aka Earth curve. It's pretty sad.
Any evidence of any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
Not yet.
No. Not even if you have a placard saying PhD behind you and have a show, you still can't answer that one.
Oh, and are you operating now on a Blue Yeti?
Yeah.
I recognise that thud.
Yeah, the mute button press. I hate it.
Oh, sorry.
At least
Otherwise,
now it's
I
alright,
have
at
to
least you're
switch
using it.
to the screen every time, so.
There's a way to soft click it so that you don't make all the noise, but
Yeah, my mute button is just really stubborn. I sometimes have to really push it with violence, or it's just not gonna work.
I have to press it on a certain angle, otherwise it won't work.
Right. Yeah. Well, I wanted to solve this issue originally. Sorry about talking boring technicals, but I wanted to solve it by having this mic arm, but that really never came off the ground. So.
Well, if you contribute 200 subs to Anthony, he might tell you how to do it.
Voice meter banana.
I don't have any subs to contribute. Sorry.
Well,
Voice meter banana, Arwin. Channel your sound through that, and there's a mute button within that, so you just press it on your keyboard, or you use your mouse to mute, and then it's silent.
I tried voice meter banana. It never got it to work. Still got it installed. It just doesn't work.
It's not the speed of the boat; it's the motion of the ocean.
Oh my god. Any evidence you can have gas pressure without a container?
In other words, it's probably you not setting it up properly.
Any evidence that we can
I
have
asked
gas
for help,
pressure? Hello?
and then it didn't work.
Gas pressure without
I'll
a container?
help you.
Hello? Any evidence?
Oh, sorry, Nathan. What can we do for you?
This is pre-show
Oh, hi,
talk.
Nathan.
Talking about how well our...
of a mute button sound on a microphone.
This is a pre-show discussion, isn't it? Let's be honest. Still haven't done housekeeping. You're discussing how well your bloody mics work.
What's the question, Nathan?
Cringe.
Don't blame us. It's not like we're getting bombarded with globe proof.
Without a container, Nathan.
Not getting bombarded at any point with globe proof. So
That's it. You
unless
lay that
anybody
blame.
in Discord has some, that'd be cool.
You're laying that blame down thick, chocolate. I like it. It's your fault, Globers. We'd have a smooth housekeeping question without distractions about microphones if you'd just come in and actually give us some globe proof. What's wrong with you?
Save us, Globers.
Any evidence of the R value?
Only if you
Oh.
assume it. Do you know what will be another good housekeeping question? Is there any evidence of a straight line ever becoming curved? Ever? Because in non-Euclidean geometry, you can make straight lines curves, but in the real world, straight lines are always straight. They're never, ever curves.
But there you already said it. And the problem is a straight line is already kind of a concept. So, yeah, there you go.
What do you mean a concept?
Outside of Euclidean geometry, and there you got your straight line that's curved.
How is a
Doesn't
straight
really
line a
help
concept?
anyone, though.
Because you can have straight things, right? Like a ruler is straight. Can you ever have a bent ruler if it physically exists in the straight world, real world as straight? Can it ever appear to be curved or calculated to be curved or represented
Yes.
geodesically as curved?
Yes, you already answered your own question. In non-Euclidean geometry, you can. Yeah.
And that's the only way that they can flatten out the curve. Like the horizon is flat, but they say as you zoom out, it becomes curved. It doesn't become curved. All the high altitude balloon footage shows that it's still flat, even at 120,000 feet. But you can go onto Google Earth, zoom backwards into like 30,000 feet and see a lovely little curve. You should see that on a plane. We don't see that. So why can we see 120,000 feet and it's flat? Well, it's because it's not curving. It's only when you imagine it to be a ball, then you make that curve in your mind. But in the real world, it doesn't happen.
Yep.
Absolutely mind-bending.
Yeah.
I didn't think that there was a difference in either non or Euclidean to a straight line by the definition of a straight line. A straight line is still straight in non-Euclidean. However, your baseline may, which isn't straight, if you're going to apply it onto a sphere, it requires adjustments. But they're curved lines in the non-Euclidean. They're not straight. A straight line is still straight in non-Euclidean because it has to describe something that there isn't a change on one of the axes in the three-dimensional. But with spherical, that change in the three-dimensional has other effects on the other coordinates, and it's that conversion system which is the link between the two. So they are different types of geometry, but a straight line is still a straight line in both types.
Yeah, but
I like to pretend that we can follow a curve, yeah, with another line that runs equidistant to it, not parallel, but equidistant to it. They may like to pretend that and conflate terms, but as far as I'm aware, straight line's a straight line.
Oh, what they say is the straight line is straight, but everything wraps around it to give you the perception that it's curved. Geodesic paths. I'm going to find a visualization on YouTube. I'll be back.
I think we've got a few
This
issues
feels like
with the live
having
stream.
the
It's
previous
just-
conversation where like water turns into gas when it evaporates. It's like, what are we talking about here? Straight lines are straight. Yeah, they're straight. That's why they're called straight. Once they're not straight anymore, they're curved. Well, that's a curved line. It's not a straight line. How you have a curved line and a straight line? They're both the same line. Like, what kind of nonsense are we talking about here? Oh, because they all think that they live in a ball, which requires this mental masochism. Great. Awesome.
Well, Adam, as Bev Try Thinking has said, you can't measure an angle without a perpendicular, two straight lines, correct?
You can measure an angle, but a perpendicular is a definition. It's a specific definition that requires the intersection of two straight lines forming 90-degree angles.
Well, when I say that, because you and I have talked about how the sextant works, it's a right angle instrument.
Mhm.
It's got 90 degrees, and that's how you know where that luminary is between those two lines.
Yeah. So it assumes a planar surface.
So a sextant only works on a plane.
It seems like YouTube is stalling or something.
Yeah, I've been super chatted by Emma UK to tell me exactly that, but at my end, everything's perfect. So YouTube on the live dashboard is saying stream health perfect. and then all of my bit rates are perfect, 0 drop frames, everything's perfect. So I think it's a YouTube issue, so we're just going to have to carry on regardless and hope that it renders okay. It's being recorded anyway if the live stream ends up terrible, but it's not my end from what I can establish.
You did it on QEs the other night, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe just huge levels of traffic on YouTube at this particular moment, but either way, just plod on, because we're recording either way, so it'll get rebroadcast on Nathan Oakley channel if it doesn't go out live in a nice way, which is why I record it. So don't worry about it, just carry on conversation as normal.
Nathan, just present my screen for me, and Adam, check this out. Let me know when
Not
it's
rude,
on.
is it?
Pardon? No, it's not rude.
Okay.
It's basically the path of all these arrows is straight, but the space-time that the arrows are traveling through is curved and it's distorted. So even though all of the lines are traveling straight, because the geodesic that they're on isn't straight, in other words, spendy space-time or whatever non-Euclidean geometry that they want to use, if I slow it down, you can see it. It's playback speed half. That way he's not going to get a strike either. You can see that even though the wheels on the cars are steering the same direction, they're not turning, the geodesic's turning around it. So this is how they make straight lines curved, because they warp space-time to give the perception that there's a curve, but there's not actually a curve because they're all traveling straight. When you can get your head around this and you understand what this means to the fiction that is the ball that we live on, they're not making the line curved as per Einstein style, where he bends straight lines. They're making you imagine it. That's literally what they're doing. So even though all these lines are straight, right? Do you see that? Can you see how they're making that work?
Yeah, but Tony, we must embrace the fiction in our science.
This is applicable to space-time, isn't it?
This is what we were discussing on the phone earlier, right? This is a geodesic.
Yeah, this is a geodesic path. So when Brenda says that the apple's future is in, or how did she word it? The apple's future is on the ground. This is what she's describing. This is how the things curve, but there's no force here. This is just a conceptual thing in your head where they change the fabric of space-time to give things a new path, but they're still going straight because they're bending space-time around the journey rather than making the journey bend around. So if these were all cars traveling around roundabouts and whatever, they'd be turning, because we live on a two-dimensional world, really. Like, we see things in generally 2 or 3 dimensionals, but it's simple. But they're making the world around the line change so that the line appears to be some other thing than straight, but they're all going dead straight. It's bizarre. It's stupid, but this is non-Euclidean geometry. It's art, really. It's abstract art, and it's beautiful to look at, but it's not the real world. And this is what you've got to think of in the context of the confines of when you're thinking about geodesy and geodesic paths.
Yeah, good visual representation. That it even said, I didn't notice the title was The Beauty of Geodesics. So yes.
Yeah, the beauty of geodesics, not reality, fiction, science fiction, but nonetheless abstract art. But you guys have got to believe all this nonsense for how things behave, and they don't behave like this, do they, in the real world?
Well, you wouldn't think that if they actually believe this, then they should be able to produce their R.
Yeah.
And since they can't produce their R, then, like you said, this is just fantasy. Because they need R to back this up.
I'll make the show a little short, or at least the live stream of it, because it's just horrendous for the audience. And as I say, there doesn't seem to be anything I can do at my end. It seems perfect. So, there we go.
Yeah, just really real in here.
Well, it's just got the whirly whirl on my end, and now it's doing it on the live dashboard as well. So it can only be a YouTube issue. Like I say, my systems are all working perfectly. Nothing seems to be showing any issue. So again,
they're choking it.
Yeah, maybe choking my bandwidth.
Yeah, but that's what this looks like. So You know,
But it's
and
going
people are
out.
saying there's not even a buffer loading, so there's literally just it's completely cut.
Well, I tried lowering the resolution and it didn't help, which is what you typically do if that's the case, but that didn't help either. So, like I say, it's going to be pointless just continuing live. So we'll just continue this as a pre-recorded show. If you can hear live, however, there's going to be, I'll do a second plug for it, an extra long, extended, over 3-hour show tonight on the second channel. So go and subscribe to Nathan Oakley channel. Today is the 11th, and tonight at 9 PM UK time there will be an extended uncut and after show, which is truly epic anyway. So don't just subscribe because I've told you to, subscribe because there's going to be an epic show tonight at 9 PM UK time. So with that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G+ panels for making today's live show possible, technical issues aside. Stay tuned if you are watching on the Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering streams, as there will be an after show to follow. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
What a day! What a lovely day!